So something else I've learned is that time moves so much quicker when we are dialed into our technology. We're literally pressing fast forward on our lives. I had a conversation the other day with a young man and a young woman who worked in a shop, and the man, when he was serving us, I say young man, I say they were both in their early to mid 20s, and the man asked the question of me and my missus. He said, "Oh, what are you up to tonight?" And the missus replied, "Oh, we're just going to sit down and maybe watch a couple of episodes of The Sopranos." Now, for those of you who know my content, for those of you who know me, I don't have a television, I don't watch TV. The only time I watch television is when I'm with the missus. And she likes to watch pretty much only two things, and that's Emmerdale and now The Sopranos. We both used to watch it back in the days, 20 years ago. We were both big fans, so we decided to watch it together. So the only television that I watch is when I'm with the missus, and I'll watch the odd episode of Emmerdale. I catch up on it. I maybe watch an episode every couple of weeks, and we're currently watching The Sopranos. So the missus said we watched The Sopranos, and the guy said, "I wish I could watch television programs like that, but unfortunately I tend to just switch on my phone, and before I know it, I've only watched 10 minutes and I've lost it because I'm too busy on my phone, and I won't watch the rest of it. So I just don't watch these kind of programs." And I said to him very quickly, I just looked at him with a smile on my face and laughing. I said, "That's quite a tragic way to live." And he looked at me and he completely agreed. And so did the girl behind the counter. We then ended up having a wonderful discussion in which I explained how quickly their time is passing them by. And this is the bit that gets me. I was actually quite emotional by the end of it, is that there's so many people in the world right now who are going to have a huge moment later in their life where they realise just how much time that they've wasted on their technology, on their phones in front of their screens. The average human being spends 90 days a year on their phone, 7 hours per day, 7 waking hours per day in front of a screen. That's a long time. And what we're doing when we're dialed into our technology, like you are right now, the irony of this isn't lost on me, is that you're just whizzing time past. It's almost like you're pushing the fast forward button on it. In my course, I do a little test where you switch your phone off, except for setting a timer for 8 minutes. Sit in complete darkness, sit with nothing but your thoughts, and notice how slowly that time passes. That's perfect. That's how time should be. But then do the same. Set the timer for 8 minutes and do something on technology. Play a game, go on TikTok, do something. Before you know it, poof, that time whizzes by in the blink of an eye. We're pressing the fast forward button on our own lives. And there's an entire generation, and this is what I explained to them, that are going to have this awful realization later in their life when they start to look back at their lives and ask themselves the question, what have I done with my life? And the answer is going to be painful. It's going to be that I've wasted so much of it on my phone, on my technology, in front of my screen, that it's literally whizzed past in the blink of an eye. Because all you're doing when you're here right now, and I'm being honest with you, is creating time that doesn't matter and time that's moving doubly fast. You're pressing, I'm going to repeat this again, you're pressing the fast forward button on your own life. And when you reach that point later in life where you look back and you start to actually really take stock of how you've lived your life and what you've done with it, that pain, I can imagine it, that realization, oh my God, I've spent most of my life on my phone. That's a wasted life. It's not a life being lived. And I can't imagine that pain of realizing that at a later date. And that's what I'm trying to wake people up to. It's all part of my course, as well as everything else that's in it, is to get rid of that digital dopamine dependency that we are so dependent on, and start to engage with life in a more meaningful way. Otherwise, when that realization hits later in life, it's going to be seriously sore. And I don't want that, and I don't want that for you. I don't want it for me. I certainly don't want it for my loved ones, and I don't want it for anybody else. We have to kind of start to realise this now, before it's too late, or there's going to be millions and millions and millions of people with that horrible realisation later in life that they've wasted it on their phones. Can't have that. I'm sorry.